everyone. Hope you're having a beautiful April day. I'm Herbie Lutz, joined by Mark Boland today to bring you some Jersey proof updates from April 2022. Mark, how's things in Ohio today?
Uh, Raining here and there. Wish it would just stay warm, but I'm sure it's warmer in South Carolina.
Might be, but I have a long sleeve shirt on for a reason. It's not that warm. We want to bring you some exciting Jersey news. We've got a presentation put together. We're going to talk back and forth. A lot of Mark and I both have seen a lot of the daughters of these proven bulls that we're going to talk about, and we're going to move into some young sires. But first, Mark, let's talk a little about the designations that our communications team uses.
Yeah. So as we go through this presentation, or if you see it in our directories or on our website, you see these little designations, whether it be Feed Pro, Fertility Pro, or Showcase bulls, more type-oriented, big, deep pedigree kind of bulls. One I'd like to point out, or a couple I should say, is Elite Sex Fertility. These are bulls that are elite in sex semen for fertility, just a little higher ranking than the rest. And then another one is the Mastitis Resistance Pro, a designation that we released last year and really pushed to add bulls to this list.
Mark, and you're right. We're moving into summer in the northern hemispheres, and that elite sex fertility can really help herds maintain that pregnancy rate while using sex semen if they'll pay attention to that on the website and in the directory. One note at the bottom of that page, I don't know if you can read the fine print, but it's something that I think needs to be pointed out. It says, for Jersey sires without sex semen identification, please contact your Select Sires representative for potential opportunities to special order gender-selected product. Mark, I think we need people to know that just because it's not in the book, it means we don't have it today. Doesn't mean that it's not coming a couple weeks from now, a month from now. It's a ebb and flow process on how sex semen's produced.
Oh, yeah, that was a very good point, Herbie. I couldn't see it on my screen, so I had to zoom in a little bit. But, yeah, that's a very good point. Just it doesn't always hurt to ask.
No, and if your rep doesn't know, reach out to Mark or myself or somebody. We'll definitely get you some more information. I just thought that needed to be brought up because as herds have moved to more sex semen and beef on dairy in these herds, I think we need to make sure people realize not all of them are listed in the book that have the opportunity to be offered in gender-selected semen. I want to talk about a new index that we've just released with this April proof run. It's been around in our Holstein sires now for a little while, but we just got it to the Jersey side to fit what we think the breed needs to move into the future. Herd Health Profit Dollars. It's a new tool to help you create healthy, long-living cattle. It's designed to boost protein yield and fat yield, includes general conformation and udder depth, emphasizes somatic cell mastitis resistance, and it focuses on the cow and heifer fertility traits, DPR, CCR, and HCR. And because we used CDCB numbers, we can use this across platforms on other people's bulls, on people's heifers. You can actually find out what their HHP dollar value is. It's been on the website for about a month now, Mark. Anything you'd like to add to it?
Yeah, no, I just think it's a good tool to add to our toolbox that we can pick from. Anything we can use. Like Herbie said, we can use it on anyone's sires, daughters, anything like that, because it all includes data that we can get from everywhere. So it's just a good tool to have for us to use going forward. And I think we got a little more detail on this coming up.
And Joel just reminded me by popping up the screen, please ask questions as we go through this. We want it to be conversational. I've got the comment section open on my computer so I can see if you ask a question. But please pay it. If you have questions or they come to you later, just go ahead and pop that in and we'll go ahead and discuss it while we're moving through this presentation. We said what we introduced, but what traits are in HHP dollars? On the production side, you're looking at fat, protein, productive life, livability, somatic cell, DPR, CCR, HCR. PTAT, udder depth, rear teat placement, teat length. And Mark, those teat traits are more for an optimum, middle optimum, not for an extreme linear one way or the other, because you don't want to keep breeding teats farther back or shorter all the time. You want them to be in the middle of the range.
Yeah, and you don't want them too short or too long. You want a happy medium. So those two traits are a happy medium and not one way or another.
Right. And then we have the CDCB, mastitis, DA, and milk fever. So you're probably wondering, what's it look like compared to, say, JPI, cheese merit, DWP? Chuck Sattler, our great geneticist and vice president, put this together for us. And I think it really shows some differences and things that we think HHP brings to the table that the other indexes might leave a little short. You'll notice it's 0 for milk, so we don't have a negative value on milk, but we're still at 43% of the index is on CFP, combined fat and protein. You can see 18% on mastitis. Nothing costs us more money than we start treating cows, keeping them out of the tank. Fertility, 16%. Cow doesn't breed back, she's not very profitable. Other cow health is 12%, but we still have 11% of this HHP formula on confirmation. And I think that's a nice number to have.
Yeah, I think with the combination of components, notice that we don't have a negative weight on milk production, keeping that mastitis low, but then just the balance across the board, I think that'll benefit the breeders going forward that use this index.
I think it'll really help make these cows last and be more commercially acceptable around the world. But moving into some proof data, now that we've talked about HHP, we did have a couple new graduates in April, Mark. Why don't you talk about the first one?
Yeah, our first one we got coming from our Jersey Land partners out in California and Texas from the Primus program is 7JE1726 Starlord. The crazed son from a P-Flex and then a Determinate. He's 121 JPI, comes in the ranks at 509 cheese. A good solid production bull, positive DPR at 1.8, positive mastitis. And as you see that mastitis, he is mastitis resistance pro. So a bull that really does a lot of things. He's 14.6 on his JUI, and I think from what Herbie and I have seen across the country on our travels the last few months, and I think these photos exemplify that. They're good udder cows. They got height and width to the rear udder, sound type cows. So just all around balanced bull with no holes and HR pedigree.
Mark, there's not a lot of bulls that carry both that Robot Pro and Mastitis Resistance Pro logo, and this new graduate does that for us. So really excited to have him added to the program. And as everybody knows that's watching, probably, U.S. Jersey only scores in California in October and then April. So really no new daughter data gets added till now. So they're out in California scoring right now. So we expect to have a lot more type data on this bull come August, Mark.
Yeah, and all three of these photos are in California, So we'll be getting for sure more data going forward into August proofs.
Yeah, the communications team did a nice job, I believe, with that top right photo on Facebook the other day, Mark.
Yeah, that was the rear udder shot that you've seen on the little press release we released on Facebook that our communications team created.
I'll take the next one. It's an accelerated bull, 14J1712, Butkus. Butkus is bred at Faria Brothers. He's a bull that brings tremendous fat percent at 0.23. He's still 0.06 plus for protein. You know, Mark, we've seen a lot of the daughters. We took these pictures out in South Dakota a few weeks ago, and I just love that group shot that we took down in that bottom right picture. They seem to be pretty strong, the ones we saw out there, and have tremendous udders.
Yeah, even the one up in the top right corner that we got out in California in January. Big, strong frame cows with height and width of the rear udder, going to put a lot of milk through that mammary system, but look good doing it. And I think he's a very consistent group from what we've seen so far.
And this crosswind Butkus there in the middle of the page, SSI, that's from our JART program, working with our partner there at Crosswinds in South Dakota. but just a beautiful young cow with a beautiful rib and tremendous udder. He's A2, and he's a bull that I think people are really going to like him the farther they get out in lactation, because they're going to see what type of flow they actually have. But a nice addition to our accelerated genetics lineup, and he does carry the Robot Pro and the Mastitis Resistance Pro as well. 2 new graduates that both have those 2 traits. We'll talk about a few other proven bulls. There's been a lot of history with great proven bulls at Select Sires over time. This was a great picture from a few years ago in an advertising campaign done by our award-winning communication team. And I just think it's timeless. You just love the beauty, the way these bulls are presented with the sign there. Select Sires is committed to the Jersey breed. And one of the bulls I'm going to talk about first is Kestrel P. You want to talk about flow. He's 28 for milk now, Mark. He's a bull that just continues to go up on his pounds of milk, 125 CFP. And he's a bull that, yes, he's still minus 2.0 on JUI. And most of it comes from his udder depth. But you don't expect 2,800 pounds of milk out of an extremely shallow udder.
No, and I think these cows, yeah, his udder depth is negative, but the ones I've seen in these pictures exemplify it. They're not as deep as everyone probably thinks they are, but they got the big frames to go with it to put that milk through that mammary system. The bull itself was also very fertile at 2 SCR, so he carries that Fertility Pro designation at the top, as you see.
And Mark, you and I have both seen a lot of these, and this one in the bottom right at Red Top, I called you, or I took a picture of her with my phone as soon as I saw her. She just stood out there at Red Top. Chris Terra and the group there do a fantastic job. And they're outliers for production. If you need to make changes in flow in one generation, he is a bull that will do it.
The next bull we got is Stony. It keeps adding daughters every proof run. A bull that you notice may not be a lot of pounds of milk, but look at the CFP and the percents. An extreme outlier for the percents. He's 143 JPI, high cheese at 667, 2.7 on his SCR, and daughters that look good doing it, as you see the group shot that we did, I think last year at the beginning of the year maybe, in South Dakota, or the one down in the right-hand corner at Clover. Just a bull that adds that every time and just seems to keep consistently handling in the ranks.
You know, Mark, Stoney has stayed there. Those percents are unbelievable. You talk about breeding extremes in dairy cattle all the time. You take Kestrel daughters, put Stoney on them, put that percent back in them with that kind of flow. His udder depth matches up perfect with Kestrel P's udder depth. I think 2 bulls that we started with here can provide a lot of great things for the breed to make up make ground on being profitable cows for the future right there.
Yeah, and they also like to mention his pedigree. He comes back from some excellent dams behind him. So not just the production, but he's got a pedigree to go with it.
Pine's the next bull that I'm going to talk about right now, and he's a Frisco son out of a 87-point dimension. And I was just really blown away when I started seeing the daughters of this bull back in January. I know he graduated before, but I hadn't really seen a lot of the daughters. They just continue to impress, and they just keep getting better and better. He's a tremendous udder bull, 13.4 on JUI, great percents. And he's a bull on the new HHP dollar index. He's the highest proven bull we have. And I think that says a lot for that index, Mark, because it's making the right kind of cow that people like.
Yeah,
and that's what you keep hearing on these.
The kind of cow that everyone likes. I like he's 1.9 on his DPR, it's positive 2.8 on his SCR. So I mean, he's got a lot to offer. Good daughters, HHP that handles that mastitis resistance, production, and the type. So it just exemplifies the HHP program in this bull.
And he's a bull that added milk this time. He was a touch minus in December, but as these daughters are progressing through their lactations, they're persisting well. Might not have had quite a high a peak as people wanted. And that's the reason on early days in milk, his milk proof was negative, but he's, 227 of milk now. No, that's not extreme, but 79 CFP out of a beautiful package works at a lot of places. And that's the reason he was on the cover of our component directory. This picture taken out at DuPat in January. Mark, anything you'd like to say about that?
Yeah, I think this just exemplifies. I mean, these are 3 daughters that we've seen, pretty uniform in their make, big ribbed, nice udders, held well above the hocks. It just shows what this bull has done and what he can do, and I think he'll just continue to improve as time and more daughters go into his proof.
And Mark, we're showing a little video right now, those same 3 daughters, little broader picture, so you can just see these animals have really, they're just beautiful uddered, well-maintained, balanced cows. No doctrine on the photos here. I think something that dairymen just really appreciate when you see this type of picture.
The next bull we got is 7JE 1638 Respect, another bull that made the proven ranks, previous proofs from our Jersey Land partners out west. He's a Quinn son from an 87 Volcano, and then a Carvala behind that. A bull that kind of does the same thing as what we just talked about in Pine. He's 256 on the milk, but look at the fat and the percent that with that fat. 268 on his somatic cell, so that's really, really low. Positive on his CDCB mastitis, 587 on his HHP, and SCR 1.6. This bull's 12.6 on his JUI, and I think these daughter photos exemplify that too. Strong cows with nice udders and all-around balanced bull here.
He's another bull that went up this time, Mark, and we've been expecting him to because we really thought the daughters had that dairiness that you like to see, flat bones. And he's very well sampled, over almost 1,600 daughters in his proof now. Closer, a bull from our River Valley partners, just out of the Circus Act, goes, if you follow the pedigree back, people that like the lineage part of this business, goes back to a 2-time national grand champion in circus. Pretty unique to get a proven bull that's 100 JPI. But look at his cell count, 278, 10 for mastitis, 3 points of DPR. This bull is a health trait changer. 3.8 PL, 5.1 JUI. His dam's pictured on the right. He's A2, and 2.5 SCR. Just an all-around great bull that settles cows. Thought we ought to bring him up to you, and carries that Robot Pro Mastitis Resistance Pro logo.
Yeah, and as you said, he's a health and fertility changer in one generation. We'll talk about one of his sons in our sex-only program later on as we go, but just in a bull that does a lot of things right in one generation and can fix some areas that if you're looking for. Next, we got the bull that needs no introduction in chrome. He continues to add daughters to his both production proof and type proof. He's 586 on milk. I believe he went up on milk, fat, and protein now. He's positive on his DPR, positive mastitis. I mean, just a bull that really needs no introduction, but it makes it easy to talk about him. His daughters are really outstanding individuals, big rear udders, dairy bone, good foot and leg. And I think you got a picture showing up next here that we took at Buster Golfs that I think we show every time, but it just exemplifies what this bull can do in any herd. I mean, there's a lot of cows at Buster's in South Carolina, New Mexico, but this shows that you can go at any commercial farm and find these daughters because they stand out.
People really like him. He's still been one of our top 6 sellers. He just does things consistently, and that's the trait and sign of a customer satisfaction star, Mark.
Yep.
Another bull that fits that same mold, not new genetics by no means, but 1344 Matt. Matt's an Irwin son out of an 86 point T-bone. You love the T-bones back in the day. And this bull, been a bull that's been #1 in Australia, still ranks high there. But a mastitis improver, 1.9 on CDCB. And he's got $5,000 now. You know, the breed average on proven bulls is about 0.6, 0.7 minus now, isn't it, Mark, for mastitis?
Yep.
And this bull's 1.9 plus. That's quite an achievement. 0.8 DPR, great SCR. Thought we'd put him back in the presentation. You can see daughters from all over the world here, either in commercial operations like Buster's on the bottom right. And Mark, in Canada, in Australia, they've done a lot of good everywhere this bull has.
Yeah, and he's one of the higher Jersey bulls in the breed that's for Zoetis mastitis at 103. So, I mean, you combine what you said in the CDCB mastitis and that Zoetis mastitis, he's an easy mastitis resistant pro bull. A bull that just continues to do a lot of things right and get used across the world.
And glad that he is. There's no doubt, because he makes daughters that Dairyman are customer satisfaction stars, just like Chrome.
Next, we got Lemonhead, the Samson son from the 88-point Renegade Lemon Pie. A bull that we just continue to talk about, that we thought we'd talk about again. Just daughter photos that are balanced, individuals with good udders, the 94.1 down in the right-hand corner. This bull's mastitis resistance pro. It's positive 0.5 DPR, 1.9 SCR. Just a bull that continues to add daughters to his proof and exemplify what we like to show in our proven lineup here at Select Sires.
And that one from Clemson University there in the middle, Mark, she won the pot of gold for Jacob. So,
yep, a good investment on that one, and she calved in really good, as you can see in the photo.
Exactly. Great investment. Happy when it works for young people like that.
Next in our showcase program, we're going to talk about Victorious, a bull that we thought needed to be brought to the table. There's a lot of uproar about these right now, and he's getting more and more looks as people go to breed for the next showcase kind. It's the A2 Sire. He's SCR of 1.5, so he'll get your cows bred. Just one that continues to make good daughters as heifers, but when they calve in as cows, they really stand out. You see these pictures here to the right of your screen. They're both top 5 class placings at Madison. And there's numerous more pictures on the website, just a couple that we have here. I think the Victorious one from River Valley there was the first summer junior 2 at Madison last fall.
Yeah, beautiful young cow that I'm sure we'll see a lot out of in the future. We're going to change gears a little bit now and go to our gender selected lineup. We're going to talk about our sexed only bulls to begin with. And I'll talk about the first one, Dabo P. He is the Listowel son out of the 90-point Disco, out of the Pharaoh, from the same family as Closer, just a different branch, back to Circus, 2-time national grand champion. But this bull still ranks at the top of the breed. 157 JPI, over 700 cheese merit at 713. Just a balanced profile. 841 a milk, 88 CFP, 801 HHP. And look at his health traits. He's carried those through from his Disco dam, 2.7 on somatic cell, plus on DPR, 1.8 for mastitis, plus on JUI, A2, a lot of things right on this bull.
Yeah, and I think as we've got to see this dam as a 2-year-old, and then now she's in her second lactation, but I think she's just one that's going to get better with time. And I feel like this bull is too. I mean, it's just a balanced bull, easy to use, really has no holes. So just one that we continue to push for sales.
You know, Mark, we don't talk about calf wellness dollars maybe enough, but he's 76 calf wellness dollars on Zoetis data. And when you look at those, 104 for livability, 104 for scours, and 107 for calf respiratory, that's breed leading. Yeah. That's at the top of the bell curve.
That's an extreme outlier amongst bulls his age for sure, and the breed in general.
And we should, in the next week or two, start getting genomic results on his first offspring. So pretty excited to get those coming into the program.
Next in our sex lineup, we have 507 JE 1985 Geppetto. He's a gifted son from a Viceroy. He's 156 JPI. He took a big jump on cheese merit to 778. Bull that has a lot of flow and components at 103 cheese or CFP. He's positive DPR. Just a bull that I think is can add a lot to your breeding program. He's A2, 680 DWP while being 658 HHP. So a combination of that there. And as we talked about Dabo, look at this bull's calf wellness. We thought Dabo was high, but this guy, he's got him by 20 points on calf wellness. Just extreme for calf livability, scours, and respiratory at 105, 105, and 110.
Exactly, Mark. Reason he's been a sire father for us and continues to be. Tucker's a bull that needs no introduction, been around for several proof runs now, a bull that's still 142 JPI today, 677 cheese merit. You see a lot of Tucker's sons and daughters on the genomic list now. He's proved he can make high ones, over 10 on JUI from a great friend, Steve Rowley, down in Mississippi. Just a bull that has done a lot of great things. His dam's pictured on the right side of the page, and a bull that is changing generationally. Really shouldn't have an SCR because he's only available in sexed-only product. So that's probably some embryos that got coded incorrectly, Mark. There's a reason he does have an SCR.
Yeah, and third time's a charm. Look at the calf wellness again on this one.
Exactly.
83. So just a consistent group in our sex lineup, whether it be production, rankings, and your indexes, but also our calf wellness, as it should see here. The next one we got is Midway from our friends at River Valley. He's a Thrasher son from the 91 point list of all they have, 139 on the JPI. Look at the components and percents on 651 pounds of milk, positive DPR, 583 DWP. Another bull that's 40 for calf wellness, which is above breed average, if I'm thinking correctly, Herbie. But just a bull that is balanced, Thrasher son. Everyone knows Thrasher, and something we're excited for to get results on these coming forward.
Yes, a bull that we've used as a sire father, and look at those 3 calf wellness traits, livability, scours, and respiratory, all over 100. It's hard to find in the Jersey breed, those trifectas, and why we're trying to promote these as sire fathers to try to keep that going in the later generations as we move forward. Patronus is a Miami son from the Jersey Land Sires group, bred at Alum Farms Partnership, Sabino and Roger out there in Hillmar, California, doing a fantastic job. 1,300 pounds of milk, 100 CFP, a lot of flow in this bull. A bull that carries those same 3 calf wellness traits over 100. He's a bull that's just really over 600 on HHP, a balanced bull, 653 cheese merit still, out of a Steve, then a Wildfire. Just a balanced bull, a little more extreme on some of his other traits. You see the 1.2 on rudder, height and width. Nice dairy form bull, a bull with rear teats a little back, 2.0. So a bull, another sire father, Mark, that we're pretty happy that we have in the program.
The next couple of bulls we're going to talk about are maternal brothers. This one in our 250 lineup, but being sexed only, so carrying that 550 in front of his NAB code. Rowan's son from the 80-point Enzo, picture to the right of your screen. Bull that's 15.6 on his JUI, A2, 673 HHP. Just a bull that's got a lot of production. Balanced with 541 DWP. Just a balanced bull that we have some exciting things coming from, I think, when we get results. But I don't know, Herbie, you have anything else to add to this one, or are we going to go to
Yeah, you love that JUI on this bull, and his dam's pictured that way, Mark. We're up front about what we do. She is 3/4 in her left rear, calved in that way. But you and I both saw her, super well balanced cow, and a cow that's 3,500 pounds over herd mates as a 2-year-old.
on
So
3/4?
on 3/4. John Deere made a fortune on 2 cylinders. So a lot of great things that this cow family brings to us. You go back to the Lemonhead, great cow family, Circus Act. There's a lot of opportunity here back to Circus, I think. And a bull that early indications show he carries that Elite Sex Fertility logo up there at the top. He's been really good in the fertility trials we've run.
And then we got his brother, and this is the closer son I was referring to earlier when we were talking about closer adding the fertility and health traits to bulls in one generation. This closer son is a brother to Corsair that we just talked about. His early fertility trial data is through the roof as well. This bull's 11.4 JUI, not quite as high as his brother, but look at the health traits. He's 2.0 for DPR, 623 HHP, but he's got production to go with it, 545 DWP. Just a bull that I think is going to really sell some semen, and I'm anxious to see what his fertility trial keeps doing, as it just keeps going higher every time we get data back, right, Herbie?
Yeah, it does. He's looking really good, and he's a bull that we've used. All these bulls that are sexed only, we've used as sire fathers and still continue to use. I made matings to this bull last week, so just great genetics from deep cow families. Hole in One's a bull that's been around like Tucker. They came out about the same time. He's a Miami son out of a McKenzie from River Valley Partnership herd, where we run all of our Jersey embryos through that we make ourselves. He's the breeder of this one because we actually worked his female. Kevin now runs his own female program too that works with ours. And it's great to have a partner like Kevin. I know we go out and take pictures at his place, Mark, but he's a true partner, likes to be involved, still looks at cows and is around the cows all the time. And he will tell you great things about this McKenzie. And the Cray sister pictured here on the page, just balanced cows. And he's been a top seller for us. Bull that's got sons coming out this fall already. Just a real balanced bull for us in our program. Still in the sexed only because demand. He sells all he makes. No need to try to make 2 products if you're selling all of 1 product. Moving on to some other Genomic Jersey highlights, I'd like to talk about 7J2000, Monster P. From 4J out in Pixley, California, a Thrasher son, 723 HHP, Mark, and 151 JPI, 765 DWP, plus on those 3 calf wellness traits we talk about. Mastitis Resistance Pro, 287 cell count, Thrasher, Listowel, McKenzie.
Look at the production to go with it.
Oh, he does. He has great production. 112 CFP. Ryan Junio was really excited when this bull got that 7J2000 label because he said, 7J1000, I still remember who he was.
Easier to remember.
Work.
Next, we got a Sancho, 7J1909 from Jersey Land. This bull was actually bred up in Michigan by the Haywood family at Sand Creek. This bull had a really exceptional day. He's 150 on his JPI now, over 700 cheese. Look at the production, 826 on his milk, 69 of fat, 48 of protein plus percents. He's 2.8 on his cell. Just a bull that wasn't actually in the lineup until the other day on our active lineup, so he'll be in the directory this round, but had an outstanding day. As we look down at the Zoetis mastitis, look at the calf wellness, another bull that's 86 on his calf wellness, over 102, 108, and 104 on his respiratory scours and livability, and A2. Just a bull that had a really exciting day the other day, and felt we needed to add this one to the lineup for sure.
Well, and it doesn't hurt, Mark. He's got a son that just arrived at Select yesterday that is the #1 young bull in the breed, and by quite far. Bred it out at Allums. We'll be talking about him in future casts, I'm sure. But he has made some high ones to come in. So pretty excited about this guy, and congratulations to the Haywood family for breeding him.
The next bull we got is Alcan, former sexed only bull that we just released conventional now, so that is available to the market. The Heavy Sun out of the Viceroy, and then an Alta Blitz. He's 149 JPI, 663 cheese. Another high HHP bull at 674. The percentage is on his fat protein at 0.21 fat and 0.11 protein while having 108 CFP. Just a really outstanding production proof. Break even on his mastitis, positive on his DPR, good calf wellness traits, A2. Just a bull that I think checks a lot of boxes and is available conventional to the market now.
Yeah, and I think having that VJ heavy, it's a little different to this U.S. population. It's a great way with those percents to mix and match some genetics. I'll talk about our chief son, Mahomes. Out of a Steve, bred at Red Top, mentioned them earlier on a daughter photo. Really nice herd of cows that's been developed by Chris Terra right outside Los Banos, California. 148 JPI, 623 HHP, 760 cheese merit. Bull that's 742 DWP dollars. Bull that's 85 pounds of fat. That's pretty big. Nice number there. Great dairy form on the daughters, height and width the rear udder clefts where you want it. A lot of things on the right side of that bar chart. And look at his calf wellness, $74, 105 livability, 103 for scours, and 107 for respiratory.
I think we're seeing a trend on this calf wellness amongst our bulls.
I did pretty well picking these, didn't I? Checkers, another Jersey land bull, Westport son, bred out at Allums, out of a Rustler P. A bull that had a good day this week. He's been in our lineup for a while. Really hasn't found the market as well as I think he should have, Mark. He's a plus DPR bull. He's 635 cheese, 147 JPI, 827 of milk, triple digit CFP at 101. 11.4 on JUI, and another calf wellness specialist.
Yeah, Herbie, this is just a bull that I can't see why he's not hitting the market harder than he is. But a bull I think had a nice day, and I think hopefully this time around he'll catch the market because I think the market's really missing this one.
Well, and Westport's a bull that got a proof, looks pretty good, will rank high. We don't have active AI yet. We didn't mention that. We won't get that till this coming Thursday because of some issues with some other breeds, but a bull that I do believe should find a spot today.
The next bull we want to talk about is a Pine son named Blizzard from Valsigna out in California. He's 142 JPI, 113 CFP on 893 pounds of milk. 756 HHP, 9 JUI, another calf wellness bull. I think he might be the highest one we've talked about so far at 94. But just a bull that is balanced across the board. 744 DWP, carries that Robot Pro designation. There's sex semen available. So a bull that I think could get easily used across anyone's herd.
He's a bull we've used heavily as a sire father, Mark. Because he does a lot of things right and brings some traits to the table, but he is a bull and has a sire now that we like the daughters of a lot.
Yeah, so I think he was a bull that kind of flew under our radar to begin with, and we released him and he just keeps going up every time. So he's easy to use and understand why we're still using him as a sire father as much as we can. Another pulled bull we want to talk about is Skalski. He's a Listowel from the 86-point disco you've seen pictured to the right of your screen. He's 139 JPI, 546 on the milk, 86 CFP, 704 HHP. Look at the mastitis at 1.4, 14 JUI, 282 cell, 6.1 productive life. He's one of the higher bulls in the breed for productive life, I believe, at least in our lineup. And another calf wellness. I keep getting higher as we go through this presentation at 100 calf wellness dollars. A bull that is now available in conventional semen to the market. So I think we should see some trend uptick in sales for this bull as he's polled and high ranking.
And I mean, his dam was a really nice cow. Mickey got this picture for us there at Gen Start. Neil and Joan milked her to start that lactation. And I just think it's a nice young cow, udder high above the hock. And it transfers into this bull that has some great offerings, I believe, for pole genetics. I'm going to talk about a couple Gisliff sons next. The first one is Valsigna bred out in California, the Wickstrom family. He's Uncommon is his name. And it's a great name for him because he brings some uncommon traits to the table. 700 pounds of milk just added, 93 CFP, low somatic cell at 281, great mastitis at 1.2, plus on DPR 1.0. Nice livability, balanced productive life. Just really not a hole in his CDCB data. HHP dollars, 746, a bull that we've used as a sire father. He carries that Mastitis Resistance Pro and the Robot Pro, Graze Pro, Feed Pro. And Mark, his dam is a tremendous milk cow that you got to work with.
I was going to point out that she is just an absolute milk wagon. Her picture don't do her justice. She's a big framed cow, just puts a lot of milk through that udder and looks good doing it. I was very impressed with her when we did this, I think, a year and a half ago now or so.
Yeah, I'm just really excited about this bull. Think he brings a lot to the table and can take the breed in a great direction. And I love the cross Gisliff on Steve. Another Gisliff from a great friend at Clover Farms, Bobby down in the bottom right, bought the dam in the Pot of Gold sale. We have his brother named Pot of Gold. And now we have Jumpstart, the Gisliff brother to Pot of Gold. 133 JPI, 669 HHP dollars, 275 on the cell count, 1.2 DPR. Just a bull that does a lot of things right and carries that Robot Pro and Graze Pro logo.
And this dam's another cow that, like the last one, just puts a lot of milk through that mammary system. Very impressive cow in her own right when you get to see this individual.
And it's great when you see young people. The Graves family there at Clover does a fantastic job. And Bobby now, the third generation there on the farm, taking an interest in continuing down the path of great genetics to come out of Dundas, Illinois.
The next one we're going to talk about is a Daniel son from the Pogba Suzanne cow pictured at the right of your screen. 132 on the JPI, 911 on the milk, 107 for CFP. Just a balanced bull that I think is getting missed a little. I think we could push this bull through the market a little more. Calf wellness dollars is positive, 652 HHP, 615 DWP. We'd actually seen some daughters last time out. We were in South Dakota, so it'd be maternal sisters of this bull, and they're very impressive individuals.
And he's a bull I've used in our program. Mark, we've made some matings to this bull because he does bring that 107 CFP and flow to the table.
Yeah, 52 pounds of proteins.
Extreme. Yeah, that's a great pounds of protein, plus 0.08. That's a pretty high percentage with that much milk flowing through it.
Another one we want to talk about is a Caliban son from a Chrome. This bull has no JX in his pedigree. He is full pure HR pedigree from top to bottom. So I think this bull's marketing capabilities is through the roof. He's 131 JPI, 527 cheese, 648 HHP, 78 CFP on 469 pounds of milk, 1.1 DPR. But look at that JUI. The chromes are good uttered, but I can see this bull, Sire, and some great other individuals. That JUI is 15.7, A2, 59 on his calf wellness dollars. This dam of this cow is very, very nice cow and excellent 90, as you can see.
And she's in Steve Rowley's down in Mississippi's grazing dairy, Mark, and I agree. Calibans, we've liked the heifers we've seen. Looking forward to them calving this summer. We'll have some more answers by August, I'm hoping, on how well we like them. And this bull, you don't have to wonder where he gets that type and JUI from with Caliban and Chrome in this pedigree.
Yeah, and I think when we did the bull parade last fall, I think Caliban was a big success. I think a lot of people saw how stylish and angular the bull is and well made. So, I mean, it's no doubt that this bull is going to be special.
Exactly.
Jake, this would be a brother to Dabo. It's a Navidad son from the 90-point disco there on your right, back to circus. 129 on JPI, 538 cheese, 667 on HHP. Nice percentages, 1.4 DPR, positive mastitis for the CDCB. Just a bull that I think can do a lot of things. Navidad being a chrome son on this disco dam, I think can be something special and make some really good udders down the road.
I agree. Another bull that really hadn't found the marketplace that we think really should find the marketplace. When you've got put chrome through Navidad and disco, Pharaoh, back to circus, that's cow family. Well, Mark, I'll take Kamikaze, the Thrasher, bred by the Boer family out in Dalhart, Texas, and you just have to love the 95-point dam of this cow, or this bull. This cow, just tremendous pictures there on the side of your screen. And, you know, that Kokomo, 95 points, the next dam, excellent as well. And look at him, a balanced bull at 92 JPI. He's still 520 HHP dollars. He's a bull that's 62 CFP, plus for DPR. Low cell count, 2.79. And a bar chart to the right that you really like to see. Just a bull that brings a lot of balance to the breed, and we're certainly excited about him. He's a bull that I think fits a lot of markets around the world. We saw our first Thrasher fresh there at Victory, didn't we, Mark?
Yep. Yeah, actually, we got one pictured. But, yeah, no, really big framed animal, dairy, individual. Udder looks like it's going to just get better with time. But, yeah, I think this bull does a lot. Just may not be as high ranking as others, but he combines a lot. Balanced pedigree, balanced profile, bar chart, as Herbie said, to the right. So I think this bull fits a lot of markets, as he said.
Well, and if the Thrashers are as good as the one we pictured already, I think this bull with that cow family behind him can be really special.
Yes.
And that's the reason we picked him to be the last bull that we talked about today. I didn't see any questions come up in the comment section today. If you ever have any questions, please reach out. Mark and I are available. We'd be more than happy. Mark, appreciate you taking the time today to do this with me. I know you're part of marketing and the Sire team, and it's great to have you doing this and helping along with the Jersey program as we grow and continue to try to lead in the Jersey breed.
I appreciate it. I enjoy this. It's kind of our end of proof week, but just a good way to end the week and continue on. So I think we got a lot to offer coming up, and we're excited for the Jersey breed in the future.
I do, and thank you again, everyone, for tuning in, and look forward to talking to you again in August or somewhere along the way.
Thank you, everyone.